Hello everyone. Today we start with our video of traffic shaping. So as we already discussed about the theoretical part that how traffic shaping works and all. So before we start this, I'm going to show you that this is the lab I worked on. So the first lecture or the first lab which I have showed you is that how to how to start a lab of Fortinet for the beginners. So if you are learning Fortinet, it's easier just to get your uh, your practical aspect more better. Okay, so for that, this is just my advice that take this topology and start developing a lab. So here I'll just give you a short brief that I have used the port 1, okay, as the management interface as well as the WAN interface. So I configured both on it. I didn't add one more port as in for the management and the WAN. I use a single port because for this I already discussed that the Fortinet support only 3 ports for the evaluation VM. Okay, so this is the lab, and this is the Windows machine I am taking this time. Okay, so I'll give you a little brief that how I connect and how I get internet. Okay, so I'll see here that first I'll go to the networks. I'll go to interface. This is just a short brief so that you will get better information, or you can do a lab as well by yourself. So this is the LAN interface. Okay, you can see here that the LAN interface here is this port number 2, right? So we add port number 2. This is LAN interface. I give manual IP address because here this is the IP address manually given. So I add, okay, the manual IP address. I give it as 20.10. Okay, I give all the administrative access. It's up to you. If you want to remove any of the accesses, you can remove it. After that, I enable DHCP because what I want is that how many hosts are there in the LAN network can get the IP from this port like 20.1. So that's why I've enabled this. So if you want to enable DHCP, you can do it. So what I'll do is when I go to Windows machine and under TCP IP I have selected automatic. I'll show you that as well. Okay, this is just the basic. uh, that's all, and then I click on OK, and this port has been configured. For WAN port, it is as simple as every time what we did. So WAN interface is port 1, and here I selected DHCP because you know that I get the internet, like this is taking the internet from my PC, right? My PC internet. Okay, so that's why I opened DHCP, and this is the DHCP IP address. Okay, so you must be getting the IP address from your to your EVENG, right? Like you are using 10.128. So this is the same thing. This for my Fortinet, it gives me the management IP address is 129. Okay, so as simple as that, as simple as it is. Okay, now I kept uh, most of the config as default. Okay, so it's taking the DNS by it takes the DNS IP address as the default gateway to this, like this is 192.168.10.2, and this is 10.129, my port number 1. Okay, and this is just, I click OK. Now I'll show you the default static routes. Okay, so I configured static routes as in I selected subnet, any host, any destination. My exit interface is port number 1, right? Because my traffic is exiting from this interface. That's why I selected this. And here I gave the gateway as dynamic because I need to get the internet from DHCP. That's why I selected as 10.2. Okay, the administrative distance is 1 because this is just the next hop away. That's why I gave the administrative distance 1. I put the status as enable and click on OK. Okay, so it is very simple configuration. You can also try it because I never showed you for this Windows device. Okay, so I'll show you this also. If I cross this, cancel this. Okay, so when I also uploaded one video of how to install Windows machine on EVENG. If you didn't have this if you didn't have your VM image for Windows 7, you can just watch that video and you will get it. So I'll go to properties, change network and settings. When you right click on it, go to properties, go to version 4, okay, and I selected as automatic. So you can also select, you have to select it automatic to get the IP address from this particular port, like your 20.1, which is considered as DHCP server. So now this port is allotting now the firewall is allotting the IP address to how many hosts are there in your LAN networks. So this is very simple. And after that, when you configure everything else, just right click and disable and then enable, okay, and then you will see that you can able to serve the internet. So you can see here that I'll show you. If I type google.com, I can able to reach to the internet. At the same time, you can also type cmd and type ping 8.8.8.8. You can see here that your internet is, you are reachable to the internet. Okay, so this is the basic configuration I showed you for the. Now let's start with traffic shaping. Okay,